today's chapter is the women painters of Mithila. Let's start. This chapter is telling how the Maithili arts. This chapter is all about how Maithili painting has been started. So Mithila is the region where in Bihar and Nepal. It is a small village, but the women of this place are very good painters of Maithili art. Just because this art has been originated from this place, so that is why this painting, this kind of art is named as Maithili art. So now let's read about the chapter and let's know more about this art form. There was a terrible earthquake in 1934 in Mithila, of South Nepal and Bihar, lying between the lower ranges of the Himalayas and the Ganga River. William Archer, the then local collector, went to inspect the damage in Mithila's villages and saw the wall and the floor paintings on the first time. Later, he went back with his wife Mildred and photographed a number of them. They recognized their great beauty and got them published in several magazines. This got the attention of artists and scholars. In the 1950s and early 1960s, there several Indian scholars and artists visited the region and also became enamored by the paintings. So in this paragraph, we have came to note that at first this this kind of art form was came into the recognition in 1934. In 1930, when a terrible earthquake, I hope everyone please rayon and mute yourself. So earthquake, there was an earthquake in Mithila. Mithila lies in the region of South Nepal and Bihar. In between of these regions, there is a small village. It is a Mithila. So when the collector, local collector, the village collector went to that site to observe the damage from the earthquake, he had seen beautiful paintings on the wall of the houses and the rocks. So it was so beautifully drawn that it attracted him, and later on he decided to make this kind of painting famous all over the world. So he also showed that paint form, that art form to his wife, and later on it was published in several magazines. In 1996, there was a drought in the same region. The All India Handicrafts Board sent an artist Bhaskar Kulkarni to Mithila to encourage the women to make paintings on paper that they could sell in order to generate money for their families. This created a new source of non-agricultural income. The women artists were encouraged to produce paintings representing their tradition on handmade paper. Since then, painting has become a primary source of income for scores of families. This also helped the Mithila style of painting gain recognition in India. So in this is after few years, after 1966, another natural calamity occurred, and this natural disaster was the drought. So at first you have seen that in 1934, the region had a terrible earthquake, which was also a natural disaster. Then 66, another natural disaster occurred there, and it was a drought. So when we know whenever natural disasters occur in a region, it creates a scarcity of financial as well as agricultural things. Grain items becomes scarce. People uh, have problems. People face problems for these things. So to overcome these problems, one of the official of All India Handicraft Board. So this is an organization which was formed by the Indian government, and this organization encourages local art forms. So this is the organization which creates an awareness and encouragement for the handcrafts. So an official, an artist, he said they sent an artist Bhaskar Kulkarni to the Mithila to improve their financial condition by selling, by encouraging them to create more and more Maithili painting. Maithili paintings known across Maithili paintings known across the globe for their vibrant lines and striking colors were once upon a time written by the tribal women of northern Bihar. The women engaged in this activity chiefly the preparation for religious ceremonies and important festivities. So if you have observed in our local area, in village area or in rural areas, there are so many rituals go on the festive days or in the festive season. Like we do rangoli, we do chalk purna, sometimes we do some drawings on the wall. So this is all our culture. Culture the same way Maithili art was also the rural culture of the that region. It might be started with the tribal community of the northern Bihar. They must have drawn the paintings on their house walls or to decorate, because in the ancient time there were not such decorative items available as we have nowadays. Nowadays, so we have so many decorative items available in market, and we decorate them. We use them to decorate our houses on the major festivals. But in ancient time, people used to use these colors only to decorate their houses. So it was believed that Maithili art was also the decoration of the tribal community. Also known as Madhubani paintings, these derive their name from the place of their Madhuban, which means forest of honey. So where this Maithili painting has a particular name, this Maithili painting style art form is named as Madhubani paintings. In paintings को नाम दिया गया Madhubani paintings because it was believed that these paintings have been originated in Madhuban, a place name of a area of the uh, region in the tribal area. Tribal area में एक region है उसका नाम है मधुबन, which means the forest of honey. So in paintings को, because these paintings are generally found in these areas, so these paintings are known as Madhubani paintings. This region is relatively isolated and consequently a fertile ground for artistic activity and spiritual pursuits. So ये जो मधुबन area है, this area is quite remote area from the populated region. Populated means these are the region where population is in large quantity. So such areas, such regions are not peaceful at all. But if you will go to the remote areas means far away areas where there are not much population, there are not much transportation. So that areas are called remote areas. So Madhuban was a remote area, and that is why it was quite calm and peaceful area. So people use this area for their artistic activity. Artistic activity means like to create paintings, to meditate, and spiritual pursuits. Spiritual pursuits means to do sadhanas, to do meditation, to do some religious, and spiritual means to related to the meditation. So these activities were done in this region. This region is believed this region is believed to be the birthplace of Sita and the land where Vedic learning has flourished. Hence, the birth of Mithila paintings in such an enriched environment is not a surprise. So this is also believed that Sita, the major character of the Ramayana, goddess of La Ramayan, was also born in this region, in this place. So this is also related to a Vedic learning. This art form with little basic style has been treasured. Treasured means to keep safely and handed down through generations. This form of painting began as a domestic preoccupation whereby women decorated their hearths with abstract motifs. Motifs means pattern or designs. Motifs means pattern or designs. So this art form has been passed on. Passed on means given to the generation to the generation. The elder people has taught this art form to their younger generation, and then that younger generation, after years, when they had their own younger generation, they have passed it to them. So this way, this math Madhubani painting style has come till the date. Now it is that this painting has also begun the domestic preoccupation. Preoccupation means busyness. So this way, this painting become very popular, and now this is very much popular in region. So and in the rural areas, in the inner areas of the villages, women used to decorate their huts with abstract motifs. Abstract means are called up related to the shapes, and motifs means to the designs. Yet each tribe has Yet each tribe has its unique style and symbols that originated from its distinctive culture. As we all know that in our region there are so many kinds of tribes live. So whatever the tribe has taken this art form, they have designed it in their own way. One tribe uses abstract motifs, another tribe uses the characters of the mythological or traditional stories. Some tribes use animals in their paintings. So each and every tribe has taken the designs in the Madhubani painting differently. These wall paintings were written in three areas of the hut. The first is the place of worship. So basically, the tribal people use this painting for the three walls in their huts. These three walls have their important significance. What are these? Which are these three walls? They used to create the Madhubani paintings. The first place is of worship. So where they used to worship, wherever they prepare the place for the worship puja, they used to create Madhubani paintings on that room, on that wall. Next comes here the icons of the household deities are placed. The second is the inner room, the heart of the hut. So whichever is the main room in their hut, in their house, they used to create Madhubani art form on that wall. This room has freshly plastered walls on which pictures of gods and goddesses are painted. This paragraph is very important. Please read it carefully. This gives important information about the ancient time where when Madhubani painting were used to be the decorative uh, medium for the tribal pupils. How they use this Madhubani painting in their house. So basically they use this painting to decorate three areas in their house. Number one is the worship place. Number two is the inner room, which is used to be the heart of the heart. And third is the outer walls of the hut, the courtyard where guests are received. These two are beautified with the paintings. So third place which tribal people used to decorate with the Madhubani painting is the outer area which was first of all seen by the guests whosoever come to their home. Traditionally, women in groups begin this as a social activity. They first plaster the wall with cow dung and then skillfully draw outlines with stick of bamboo whose ends are frayed. Then they fill in colors. So this is how they create the Madhubani painting in their house. In this paragraph, we will know how they time brushes were not available, the how they prepare colors, how they use bamboo for making the colors. So let us read it. Traditionally, women in group began this as a social activity. They first plaster the wall with cow dung and then skillfully draw outlines with a twig of bamboo whose ends are frayed. Frayed means sometimes if we see that the twigs have their fibers broken out. So this becomes like the small brush. So they use bamboo whose ends are frayed for outlining and filling the color. And at first they use cow dung and they apply it on the walls to make it smooth and worth painting. Then they fill in colors. For brushes, cloth strips are wound around twig and dipped in the colors. So for the brushes, they also use the bud-like cloth used to uh, cover the twigs, small twigs with the cloth, and it becomes like a bud, as we used to do bud painting nowadays. In ancient time, in early time, people used to wrap cloths around the twigs or the wooden branch, and then they use that bud with the for coloring the for filling the colors. Young girls first assist the elders that till they observe this ancestral tradition. So in that time, elders used to do this painting. The young children, the young girls used to assist them. They help them in very small things so that they can observe the minute these art minutely. At times, these paintings are handed over down on bits of paper as family heirlooms and referred to at the time of painting. Please stop annotating. This is not the good sign of the good students. So sometimes they draw these paintings on the paper as well. The figures in of the paintings are determined by the occasion for which they are prepared. Usually these paintings are a combination of gods, goddesses, animals and flora. So what they used to draw in these paintings, they used to draw gods and goddesses and animals and flora. Flora means the flowers. In the 1960s, the government began to encourage artists in keeping the artistic tradition alive. So every country's government work hard to encourage and enhance their cultural activities and cultural art. So this the same way Indian government has also encouraged to spread this art within around the world. That is why they encourage Maithili people to do these art, Madhubani art in on large scale. Thus, this style of painting has acquired a new dimension. So when government has started to encourage it and government has started to provide all the facilities which are required to encourage this art form, then this Madhubani art form, Madhubani paintings received new dimensions, means they had new recognition around the world. Now this is the a lot of individual artists self expressions. Each artist now strives to establish their own unique style. So once artist has started to get the government's assistance, जब आर्टिस्ट को, जब उन विमेन को गवर्नमेंट का सपोर्ट मिलना स्टार्ट हो गया, then they start, there were many individual artists. फिर तो इंडिविजुअल, बहुत सारे इंडिविजुअल आर्टिस्ट क्रिएट हो गए, एंड दे स्टार्टेड टू include their personal effort in that. With the passage of time, there are other differences as well. Traditionally, they were done on walls on paper mesh. Paper mesh means an art style where paper is mixed with glue and water to create a sculpture. So paper mesh is when we make a mixture of paper, glue, and water, and then we create a thick board of it. It is called paper mesh on or on sheets of paper. But because we in the cities demanded, Mithila painting with their sweeping lines and bright colors crop up on cloths at crafts bazaars, on greeting cards and pen stands, things that the villagers of Mithila would never dream of using. So now, as the time is changing, the new things are coming, new demands are coming in the market. Now this Mithila art form, this Madhubani art form is not only being drawn on the paper or on the wall, but on various objects which are available in market. अभी तो ये जितने भी मधुबनी आर्ट है, we whatever the things are available in the market, now these art form is used on that. Like on the fabrics, we can find out Madhubani art. So this is how Madhubani art has gained its recognition. Rest of the part we will study in the next class.